Good evening, Twitter. Welcome back to another video. And today, finally, a haunt themed video. Finally putting out a video for my haunt. So, I don't know if this counts as a haunt build, but it's definitely progress. So, without further ado, let's get started. We have a little PowerPoint slideshow, Google slide thing oh, oh my god. We're not even 30 seconds in. Well, now we are. We're not even a minute in. I already messed up a line. Man. Anyways, I have a little slideshow here about a list of stuff I kind of need and have, and what I might need for the haunt this year, including my costume, but that's at the very end. So this is a theme inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's The Shadow over Innsmouth. A pretty cool story. I'm not going to tell you the full story because I want to get into this, but basically it's that with elements of Call of Cthulhu and Dagon. So, yeah, I will, however, explain the story of my haunt. So, back in the good old 50s, it was the 1920s. How did I mess up my own story, bro? Back in the 1920s, there was a town that mysteriously opened somewhere off the coast of New England called INNSMOUTH. Pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty normal until the 50s. One day, everything just went to heck, and everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people disappeared one night. People who were still in the town, who were rescued and brought to shelter by other towns nearby, they were traumatized. And anything related to fish or the ocean would traumatize them and kind of get a little reaction out of them. They would start tweaking, if you will. So, yeah, the town's been abandoned ever since. But rumors speak that every night, fishers of man come out of the water to claim the lives of anyone who dares to walk on that land. And the locals often talk about a god that appears during the thunderstorms called Cthulhu. So yeah, ain't that oh god, that's I'm gonna be voice cracking a lot. Get used to it. So yeah, I kind of just ruined the mood. Oh my god, dude, the voice crack. My voice cracks are absolutely horrible, dude. Anyways, let's get started. So first up, animatronics. These are the animatronics I will use in the theme. I don't know about Jumping Spider though, but I'll explain in a few minutes. So this is also including that Rite Aid 3-foot phantom I have. He's in my room right now. I couldn't find any photos or info about him online, so if you know anything about him, he's from Pan-Asian. He was sold at Rite Aid. He's 3 feet tall. He has a candle. He has a green cloak with red cloak on it. He lights up. He makes spooky noises. That's kind of it. And he was like $70. So, yeah. Let me get comfy real quick. So here we have the animatronics I'll be using in the theme. That will being Deathstalker, who I recently used, my newest animatronic. Hauntress, who I'll convert. Rosemary Zombie Girl, except she's broken. We'll also convert her. And Jumping Spider, if I can convert him. So, Deathstalker I'm just going to leave as is because he already looks Lovecraftian. Like, look at him. He just fits into, like, anything Innsmouth related. Although maybe I will put, like, seaweed or stuff on him. Like fake seaweed, fake sea plants. Stuff like that. So, yeah. And then Hauntress. For the rest of these, I'm going to have to customize them to fit with the theme. So, as we'll get into a slide. Or actually, let's get into that right now. So, the masks and costumes for the props. I already have the Zagoni squid mask. Squiddles. That, if I don't end up getting the anglerfish mask, will go on Hauntress. But if I do end up getting the anglerfish mask, that will go on the Hauntress. And the Squirtle's mask will actually go on Jumping Spider. I'll kind of bend his legs up to look like tentacles and cover the cobwebs with like black cloth and net, like nautical netting. So it'll look like a jumping squid creature, which will be really dang cool, honestly. They already have like at Spirit. There's like a weird spider thing that uses the head of the skeleton octopus. So that's kind of the inspiration. I might get one actually for the haunt, but I don't know. And then we have this guy. I'm gonna use the what's his name? Zagoni. Good lord. Anyways, the names of the masks: Squiddles, Ghoulish Productions, Anglerfish, Zagoni Studios, Deep Sea Creature with Moving Mouse, and Mouse. Dude, what is up with me today? Anyways, so this mask will go on Rosemary, and I'll customize Rosemary to just look like, well, she's gonna look like a INNSMOUTH fish guy. So I'm gonna just put her hair in like a bun or something, or hide her hair, put the fish mask over it, and then I'll roll up her dress, and then I'll get some torn/dirty clothes that, if I find like spare clothes that no one uses, and they have like holes and tears in them, I'll put that on her. And since she doesn't make any noise, she just kind of moves her head side to side and munches on the brain, which is kind of perfect because I already have a good jump scare prop. 2 good jump scare props. So it's kind of cool to just have a character that's in the background just chilling. Like the Rite Aid Phantom. I don't think I'm going to customize him either. Though if I find a way to make like small tentacles, I'll put those under his cloak thing, which will look cool. Kind of like the King in Yellow, which would be pretty dang awesome. I'm also gonna try to get like a yellow raincoat or something for the Hauntress. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I'm just gonna get a raincoat, put it on the Hauntress, and put the anglerfish mask on it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I might also give her a hook, though that could be overkill. So, yeah, it's gonna be so we got Rite Aid Phantom, who's kind of just your typical Lovecraftian Reaper guy. Deathstalker, who's a deep one, I guess, although he could possibly represent Dagon, which would be cool. A deep one, and then maybe a deep one, but he's just lunging squid guy. So yeah, those are the animatronics, and these are the costumes. I might get the full costume since I seen a listing where this whole set costume thing is cheaper than this mask. So yeah, I might use this on the Hauntress. Who knows? And then we got decorations. So these. I'm tweaking tonight, dude. I don't know what I had. I had a Dr. Pepper earlier. So we have decorations here. Some of the stuff I already have, that being these hooked chains. These will work because hooks, fishing, obviously. These vines, I have a few. They're not necessarily nautical. Try saying that 5 times fast. But those could possibly work. And they could be useful for other themes too. Wink, wink. But next year, I'm not doing a theme. We'll get to that later, though. I already have this. 2 of them, actually. They're just tangled together. So, yeah. Then we got some lanterns. I need some, old, rustic, industrial lanterns. That'll look really cool, honestly. Some of these buoys, I want to get one of these and hang them over the archway, which will look really cool. Although I don't know where to find those, and they go for $20 to $40. So, yeah, they're called. Oh wait, they're not on here. Dang, I forgot to add those to the list, bro. But they're like buoys, I guess. And then I have 1 package of nautical netting. I'm probably gonna get more. And then a wooden crate, I'm just gonna use that for like, just like spread those out kind of a little bit. Maybe get like 5 or 6. Remember last year with the hay bales though, although hay bales are harder to find. So, and then metal buckets. Now, if you couldn't tell, a lot of this is inspired by Haunt Former's pork chum, which is one of the best haunts. Well, it's not really a haunt; it's more of a scary cornfield tractor ride thing. But it's cool. It's still one of the coolest things I've seen a haunter do, and a lot of inspiration from that because that was also Lovecraftian themed. Well, not necessarily based off of H.P. Lovecraft, but it definitely had an influence on it. So yeah, I'm gonna be kind of using some tactics Haunt Former had. Like he's gonna get some fake fish, which we'll get to right now. Props. So we already have a zombie city. Well, I'm probably gonna get another one and spray paint that with a lot of blood. A severed leg. I don't want to go too heavy on the gore because last year I feel like that was the goriest I could have went with a theme that my parents would allow me to do. So yeah. I want to try to get a like Lovecraftian Cthulhu statue head bust, kind of like this, kind of put behind the candy bowl, as well as like a book stand. I could also put that like behind the candy bowl so people know what it is. Although I don't know if that would be safe because considering what happened last year where those girls stole my candy bowl, or they tried to, but luckily I stopped them. I'm gonna have to like get more secure with my haunt because the area I live in isn't exactly the safest. So I'm gonna have to bolt down the candy bowl, unless like my mom or someone is out there, because I won't be scaring people at the haunt this year. I'll be out with my friends, but I'll probably scare people if I come home early. So yeah, uh, but there's like, yeah, I want to try to have people. I want to convey the message that this is a Lovecraftian themed haunt, so they could like see the inspiration, which I think would be pretty cool. And then some fishies. I need these fake fishies so I could chop them up and turn them into chum buckets possibly. Although just having like a few fake fish would already be, that already would get the message across. The buckets would just be for like, just decor as it's in the name. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this nautical netting like around the pillar, around the house, just like kind of like cobwebs except nautical netting. The buoys are, if I get my hands on those are gonna go over the archway. Lanterns, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those. I'm gonna have one in the window though, that's for sure. The candle. Oh, speaking of which, candles. I have these candles. Those are gonna be spread out throughout the haunt. And my display use is gonna be limited because I want to convey water. These, by the way, will probably go on the porch. And the seaweed will go on the props. And the chains, probably along the ceiling. So here's where it gets interesting. Lighting, fog, and electronics. Now, let me just start off by saying the fog machine, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that this year. They're pretty expensive unless I find a used one. Even then, just getting fog juice and stuff, that'd be pretty hard. And I'm pretty sure you need a remote control for a fog machine. So if I do get a fog machine though, a cheaper one, and fog juice, I will most likely try to get a fog scent. This one specifically being Froggy's Fogfish Scent Mark. Scent Mark? I butchered that name, dude. Froggy's Fogfish Market Scent. Which will make it smell like a fish market, which is pretty cool and disgusting. So, how am I going to convey water in this? Because I just have rocks in my backyard. I can't build a pool in my front yard because I don't know how that would work, and I don't think it's even legal. But I can get 2 of these blue fire and ice lights, mount them over the archway, and have them project onto the rocks so it looks like moving water. If that doesn't work, I'll just get blue floodlights. And I'll get like little pieces of black tape and kind of tape over the spots that bleed out light onto the sidewalk or the walkway. So it looks like a sort of like so it kind of looks like a boardwalk, you know? Not like a boardwalk, but like a dock, which I think is really dang cool. And then the green strobe light I'm probably going to have on one of the props, probably Deathstalker to be honest. Because, you know, he's just the coolest. And he'd look pretty cool with a green light. So, yeah. The speaker I have is just going to be playing that INNSMOUTH audio. I think I've decided on a good one. It sounds pretty good. So, yeah. There's all the lighting, fog, and electronics cover. So, moving on. Crafts. This is something I got into last year with the corn stalks. My main craft is gonna be tentacles for my costume and for the props. So, for the Hauntress, actually, I don't know if that could work because the Hauntress won't be squid. But if the Hauntress ends up being a squid, I'll make the Hauntress some cool tentacles. I already have some in the same color as the Squiddle's mask. So I just need to carve those into the shape of tentacles. I don't know exactly how to do this without it being too expensive, because all the fake tentacles online are super expensive, and I don't want to spend that much money on fake tentacles. So, yeah. I'm going to have to make my own. And, what else? I'm probably going to spray paint the tentacles to be the same color that matches my costume, that being this kind of sand green. As well as invest more in blood to spray on stuff, because I'm also running out of blood, so yeah. I also want to try getting some purple blood, but I don't know. That's not really optional. And I think something that'll make something that'll make this haunt just look overall better. Glossy spray. Now, if you don't know what this is, if you spray it on something, it'll look glossy and wet. Which is perfect because this is gonna be a nautical water-based haunt. So I'll probably spray it on this Cthulhu statue if I get it. I'll spray it on the boxes, the lanterns, the buoy, the chain. Well, maybe not the chains. This, whatever it is, the bucket. I'll probably spray it on some of the stuff like the masks, although I don't know if that's latex friendly. The raincoat. Just make everything look like wet and rainy, which will look pretty cool. So yeah, there's the crafts. If you have any ideas on how to carve pool noodles into tentacles, please leave your suggestions down below. That will be very helpful. Make sure they're cheap too, because I'm on a budget. And I don't want to blow all my money on Halloween, because I have other interests, alright? Not saying that not saying I waste a lot of money on Halloween. I do. But I would rather waste a majority of my money on year-round stuff, okay? So, bear with me. And then the final slide, my costume. Yes, my costume. I'm going as Cthulhu. I wanted to see how awkward you would get. Anyways, I don't know why I did that long pause. I don't know. I was just thinking about what to say. So I'm going as Cthulhu himself. The sleeper of Ryla, however you say it, whatever. So first off, we have this cloak. This is the whatever that word is, Halloween hooded cloak. It's supposed to look kind of torn and kind of cult-like, which is the kind of the vibe I want to go for, kind of cultish. Cultish? Dude, what is up with my grammar today? Holy moly. And then the Cthulhu mask I already have, so that's settled. I also might get these Cthulhu hands. Although those are optional because I don't even know if my hands will be visible because I'll just hide my hands under the cloak and have like tentacles instead. Like, okay, so my hands won't be visible, but the tentacles will be visible coming out of the little armhole. I don't know how to explain it. And then this Lovecraftian pendulum I want to wear around my neck because just having Cthulhu on the mask, on the tentacles, would just look kind of boring, I feel like. So the pendulum, I feel like, is the nice little bow on top, and it would kind of make it look just kind of complete, you know? If I had, oh God, the voice crack, oh my God. If I had the extra money, I would invest in, like, some green bat wings, because I know Cthulhu has, like, wings, and they're, like, green bat wings, like, bat-like-ish, whatever. I would invest in that. Or I would invest in, like, the tentacles, making them look more like tentacles. But I don't want to go too heavy on them. I want them to be able to flare around. I want them to be able to almost touch people because that would be super scary. So yeah. That's kind of the plan for my haunt, chat. I'm not going to be able to get all of these items. Well, the optional ones I probably won't get, but I might not be able to get all the essentials, because remember what happened last year. It was a little too ambitious. I know this seems pretty ambitious, but I feel like I could be able to sell the point really well, and I feel like this is going to be a better Halloween than last year. Which isn't that high of a bar to... The bar isn't that high, because last year, the season was really good, but sadly, Halloween itself just wasn't, which sucked. What was I going to go over again at the end of this video? Oh yeah, I'm not doing a theme next year. I'm taking a break from themes because they're too expensive. And I want to spend my money on other things. And I only want to go after the cool Halloween decorations that I like animatronics. I want to try getting more animatronics. Just the animatronics I find cool. So the way it'll work next year is I'm going to split, instead of doing a theme, I'm just going to do 3 sections. One section will be based off of Plague of the Doctor, one will be based off of Walkers of Rockwood Ranch, and one will be based off of this year's haunt. So, yeah. It's going to kind of be like a culmination of all 3, like a crossover. I know Marvel fans are geeking out at this. Multiverse fans in general are geeking out at this. Top 10 anime crossovers material. I know. So yeah, I'm probably only going to get like a few decorations that fit that theme. I don't know if I'm ever going to return to tombstones because those have caused a lot of problems in my front yard. Because of those tombstones, there's a lot of weed. Pause. I'm not growing weed in my front yard. I'm talking about the annoying invasive plant species weed. The ones you have to pull out of the ground. So that's annoying. I have to deal with weeds. And it was kind of my fault because I was the one who put the tombstones in there. So if anyone knows any tombstones that won't blow or fall over or fly away, that are heavy enough to not be sticking to the ground, that aren't over like $40-$30, please let me know. I need to know if there are good tombstones out there. I was thinking about getting the Home Depot ones. If those stake into the ground, I don't think they do. I think they're heavy enough to support their own weight. But I won't be needing too many tombstones, just like maybe 3 or 4. Because just like a small, like my yard is a little small for haunt size. So I won't have enough space to do that. Like a whole, whatever. I won't have space to fit too many tombstones. Because I also want to fit in 2 other themes here. So yeah. The Walkers of Rockwood Ranch section, it's going to be more to the right with that little area where the tree was, where Max Straw will probably go again. unless we get a tree there, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I want to try to get that Home Depot Raven Doctor dude this year to kind of look like the mutated Plague Doctor from the first year. As for the Skinwalker, I'll just probably go with the same tactic again, or make a PVC pipe character, which I think would be pretty cool. Or get one of those posable dummies. You know, have that act like a Skinwalker. But those are pretty expensive. So yeah. The INNSMOUTH section, I'm not too sure. We're gonna have to see how that works out this year for me to have my say on that. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty hyped for this year. I think it'll be a... I don't think the season is gonna be too well for me, cause I don't know, everyone's lineup this year seems kind of disappointing, except for like Spirit so far, Home Depot, who else? Sam's Club is honestly pretty good. Halloween costumes is alright. So yeah, but Lowe's, doo-doo. Everyone else, Morris, kind of doo-doo. So it's absolute buns. Also, this is my longest video. This is almost 30 minutes long. Man, I need to stop. So I'm just gonna end. Oh my god, I'm just gonna end it here. So yeah, I don't know when you could expect another INNSMOUTH video. Probably when I pull out the Halloween stuff, or when I go shopping for INNSMOUTH stuff and come back with a haul of stuff. I'm going to the flea market tomorrow, so maybe I'll find some of these items. Maybe I'll find crates and buckets and fake seaweed, and maybe this. Hopefully, this will be the holy grail if I find it. So yeah, it would also be cool if I find lighting too. So yeah, wish me luck, chat. Hopefully this doesn't end up like last year. So yeah, adios.